Love it. To discuss more about why Britain's beloved Regency-era author has transcended time and cultures, joining me now is Jane Austen scholar Ellie Dashwood. Ellie, great to have you on the show. Look, so we've got new series coming, Netflix series. We've seen adaptations being made, festivals being held. What is it, Ellie, about Jane Austen's body of work that is still relevant, you think, 250 years later?
I think you really hit on it. It transcends time. If you think about it, Jane Austen, when she first put these books out, had these characters that people related to so much. Like even Princess Charlotte, back in the day, she was the most popular member of the royal family. And yet when she read Sense and Sensibility, she related to Marianne Dashwood. She saw herself in Marianne. And likewise, today, if you ask most Jane Austen fans, like, what's one of your favorite things about her books? They say the characters, they see themselves as these heroines. Sometimes they'll get very specific. They're like, I'm 50% this character and 50% this character. But I think it just really shows how much insight she had into humans when making these characters that they never go out of style. Guys, welcome back to a vlog, I guess. I guess that's what it's shaping up to be. So I just got done shooting the next video and shooting the next video where I'm reading the book to you guys. And yeah, so I've been very, very productive today, which is great because like on Wednesday, I was just dead. Like, okay, so this was the story of my week. The fact that I was live on CNN on like, was it Tuesday of this week? Yeah, that was so crazy. So, I don't know. I was just like out walking in my neighborhood, being very Elizabeth Bennet, being like, I'm going to get some exercise. And then I come home to this email from CNN that's just like, do you want to be on live news in like 4 hours? And I was like, okay. Anyway, it was really fun because I got to see like the other side of the news. So obviously I watched a lot of news and you see all those people like getting interviewed and like their house is behind them or like their bookshelf is behind them and they're being interviewed on some random topic or whatever. But like I was always like, oh, I wonder what that would be like to do that. And so I got to experience that. It's very interesting. So you're tied in kind of like on a platform kind of like Zoom, but it's not Zoom. And they like give you the link and then like you have to go on beforehand to do like a test, like where they test to make sure like your Wi-Fi connection's good and your microphone is working. And like, then like right before you go on, they're like, okay, like move closer to the camera, bring the camera down a little bit. They're like framing up your shot. And then like, as you're waiting like 10 minutes before you go on the live news, you're just like listening to all of the segments ahead of you. And like the segment right ahead of me was just like so sad. So basically the program I was on is like an evening primetime newscast that goes into like, I think Europe. So thankfully also it was not American CNN. It was CNN International, which I didn't realize that there's two different CNNs. There's the CNNs that we get in America and then the CNN that goes out to the rest of the world. And I guess they have completely different vibes. I guess CNN International is like more respected for its journalism and stuff, where sometimes CNN in America, they just argue with each other over politics all the time. Anyway, so I was on CNN International but first of all, I thought that was hilarious because I'm just like, because this is hypothetically the CNN that they're watching in the UK. And I'm just like, were the people in the UK like, why are they having this random American girl talking about Jane Austen? Couldn't you find a British person to talk about Jane Austen? However, that was not what I was attempting to tell you. Oh, okay. I know what I was telling you. So the news segment right before me that I'm like listening to is this other journalist's like reading roundup of like books she's read recently. And they were all like the saddest and most depressing books ever. And she's just like, in this book, you learn what it's like to be an Iranian prison with psychological torture. And it's so funny, but I'm just sitting there being like, I'm so stressed out. Like, and I'm like, am I supposed to come on after this and just be like, and Jane Austen Austen, right? Like I was just like, Anyway, thankfully there was like a little bit of distance in between her and my part where they like showed a clip from Emma. I think, what was it, like the 2020 Emma, the 20, when did that Emma come out? You know what Emma I'm talking about. So they were like, okay, we're going to talk about Jane Austen now. And they showed a clip from Emma, and then I went on. But here's the crazy thing, guys. Here's the crazy thing to me. I couldn't see the news anchor. And I think this was the biggest takeaway I've learned from being a talking head on CNN. You can't see them. I assume that she could see me. I think that they might not send the video signal both ways because they don't want to clog up like the Wi-Fi broadband, you know, like they don't want to have too much data going through. But yeah, so like as I'm being interviewed in that clip, I'm just staring at like, pretty much it's like this black screen that has like some reminders like, I don't know, like remember to look at the camera and just stuff like that, like text. That's like what I'm staring at. And you just have to pretend that you see them. Nobody warned me of this. So like as I'm sitting there waiting for it to go live and I'm listening to the parts before me, I'm assuming that I'm not saying anything just because I'm listening to the parts before me. No, because then it becomes my part and I still don't see anything. And I'm just like, I just have to go with it. Yeah, so that's like the first time I've been on CNN. So that was fun. What else was I going to tell you guys? I don't know. I feel like there was something important. Maybe that was the only important thing. Who knows? How have you guys been? Favorite pajamas, which are these ones I got at a thrift store a while back that are covered with pictures of tiny sheep. Like, it's like a matching set. I don't know who donated this. Who did not see the vision that matching sheep pajamas is it? Look at it. Look at the cute little, I don't know if you can see the sheep. Look at the sheep. They're like all doing a bunch of different things. And then the pattern is like repeated on the pants. So recently one of you guys recommended to me The Murder of Mr. Wickham. Dun dun dun. I guess, okay, I'll just read you the back caption so you guys kind of know what this book is about. It says, the happily married Mr. Knightley and Emma are throwing a house party, bringing together distant relatives and new acquaintances, characters beloved by Jane Austen fans. Definitely not invited is Mr. Wickham, whose latest financial scheme has netted him an even broader array of enemies. As tempers flare and secrets are revealed, it's clear that everyone would be happier if Wickham got his comeuppance. Yet they're all shocked when Wickham turns up murdered, except, of course, the killer hidden in their midst. Nearly everyone at the house party is a suspect, so it falls to the two youngest guests to solve the mystery. Juliet Tilney, the smart and resourceful daughter of Catherine and Henry, who's eager for adventure beyond Northanger Abbey, and Jonathan Darcy, the Darcy's eldest son, whose adherence to propriety makes his father seem almost relaxed. In a tantalizing fusion of Jane Austen and Agatha Christie, the unlikely pair must put aside their own poor first impressions and uncover the guilty party before an innocent person is sentenced to hang. So I've not started reading this at all, but doesn't it sound so good? I'm like super excited about it. I'm excited. However, I'm also reading The Innkeeper of Ivy Hill, which I know I posted about starting to read probably like a year or two ago. I started off an audiobook on this one, and I'm still only 98 pages in to like a 400 something page book. So I guess I'm like almost a quarter of the way through. It doesn't look like a quarter of the way though. Like if you look at where my bookmark it is, see, that does not look like a quarter of the way through this book. Anyway, I think I've been so busy, and I put it by my bed because I'm like, I'm going to start this new nighttime routine where I actually like take care of myself and then like lay in bed and use my Hatch sound machine, which is its whole own topic, and like read the books. But then have I been doing it? No. And that's why I'm only on page 98 of this book. Anyway, tonight I am super dead. I am so exhausted. I was like recording all day today, and now I need to actually get ready for bed and like go night-night. But I also have a vision of like living my dream for a second. Even if I just read a few pages, I'm gonna make the dream come true.